In a few hours' time, we might be calling these the returning Quad Force 1 champions, as it's been a while since our American team, our American friends, as I often call you guys. It's been a while since they got any titles, any big wins at the end of a season, but QTFPV, Propsicle, and your guys racing from home are so far taking down all comers.
Yeah, we've been flying, beyond my expectations, I think we all kind of, we're generally pretty confident when it coming to races, but I don't know, our expectations, especially following the group stage of Split 2, were pretty low. But after we got that win against Raiden and just started going, it all just felt like it started clicking, so.
I mentioned this on stream yesterday. There was a real kind of journey for you yesterday from seeing the 1 hour of training and learning the track and you walking off the stage clearly unhappy with what you'd just done in the last hour. From that, when I thought Quad Force 1 are in real trouble, if you can't do it, no offense QTFPV, but Propsicle's out in front of all of the rest of you guys. Usually, if you can't do this, that is a big problem for Quad Force 1. You went from that to leading your team, still leading the races, looked like you didn't have any trouble flying that track and taking down everybody you raced against.
Yeah, it was kind of just, I walked off that stage and I was like, I basically told myself, I'm not going to let that practice define how this race goes. So it was kind of just refocusing, kind of forgetting about that practice and be like, all right, it's a new race, none of that actually matters. What matters is the times that I set down in these heats. So that's kind of what I did. And even after that, I didn't fly the best I've ever flown, I don't think. But that's part of the reason why Quad Force 1 is so great, is because we have people like Mason who just picked up the slack out of nowhere for me. When I was flying not my best, he was flying better than he's ever flown before, getting those firsts, and I could just slot into those seconds and thirds and kind of bring home points for the team. So.
Yeah, it was a huge performance, particularly from Hyper. He really had that track dialed in. And you were enjoying yourself on a stage. This is all very new for you. You're one of the most recent, maybe the most recent joiner to Quad Force 1. And now you're in Abu Dhabi on a stage racing in front of people. It's quite an experience.
It is, yeah. I technically joined the roster last season, the beginning of last season. But yeah, this has been this is my third race actually with Quad Force 1. So yeah, it has been an experience that I didn't expect to experience.
Fair enough, yeah. And okay, so there's been a number of times this season, this split, and maybe in Split 1 too, but certainly I know in Split 2, where I have said Propsicle can't do it all by himself. I don't know if you've heard that. I hope you watch all the shows. But I've been saying he can't do it all by himself. You're doing what you need to do. You're out in front, or maybe second, but you're up there, usually in front, getting those 4 points, and there's not a second place getting 3. Or in a big heat, you're getting 4, and sometimes that's the only 4. Usually there's more points, but it's usually you at the front, and your teammates, good as they are, I think it's fair to say, not scoring like you're scoring. Now, how has that gone down within the team?
It's obviously been pretty frustrating for me, feeling like I am flying better than I've ever flown, and yet our team is still struggling. I think after Split 2 group stage, I was number 1 in pilot points, and yet my team is all the way down in 6th. So, obviously it's frustrating, but, at least for me, I need to, kind of put that behind me and just focus on, okay, what do I need to do for these guys to help them perform better? So that's kind of been the goal going into this race. And I think that's specifically what has worked so well so far, and why we've gone so far is because people like Mason, it's started to click. Same with QT. He had some really good heats that brought in some seconds and thirds that brought in big points that got us leads where we really needed it. So that's kind of just been my focus coming into this race. Because, it was true. I can't do it all, especially with this new points format. I maybe could in splits previously, this last split, we did have a format where one pilot specifically could kind of start to carry all of it.
Yeah, Split 1, it was winner gets winner gets 1 point because you won that race and nobody else scored. So that can be you.
Yeah. So that was a pretty big shift, and that's why we did so well in Split 1. I was on it during Split 1, so I was collecting a lot of points for the team, and then we come into this, and it's a different points format, so the team kind of had to adjust to, okay, we have to be bringing in those seconds and thirds if we're going to be getting these wins.
Yeah. So how has it felt for you and, let's say Levi, let's say your other guys who are racing, when Propsicle is out in front, and I'm praising Propsicle for doing what he can for the team, but I'm also slightly calling you guys out, he can't do it all by himself. How has that felt for you and the other pilots?
Yeah, the pressure's kind of on. I can't speak for Levi and anyone else, but for me, it's definitely been I've had to step up to the plate a little faster than I thought. I went from lower on the roster to now competing. So it's been good for me. I've had to step up and get faster, but yeah, I've kind of just had to ignore the pressure to be able to perform because it is a lot. Most of these guys have as far as DCL goes, have a lot more flight time than I do. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but we're working it.
Been a short ride for you, hasn't it? As you said, you've only been in a couple of races.
Yeah, that's actually something I kind of want to brag on QT for here real quick is I don't think I've met someone who can so quickly step into a professional roster and forget the pressure. Like, if there's anyone I've met who is so good at just, like, completely brushing aside all the pressure that comes with his races, it's him. Like, we will be cracking jokes in between races. And I think he fits so perfectly into what the, like, Quad Force 1 team environment is. Because very much for us, it's like we're always joking around and messing around before heats, you know, kind of relieve that pressure. And I think part of why he's slotted so well into the team so far has just been he is amazing at just forgetting about all of it and just having a good time. So
You do look like you're always having a good time. You do look like you're always just going with the flow wherever you are.
Yeah, no, that's how it is generally for me, especially with racing. I mean, I enjoy racing. Period. I don't have heavy preferences when it comes to tracks or anything. I very much enjoy competing and racing them basically no matter what. So as long as I can fly my best, even if I lose, it's I'm still happy about it.
I think I know what you mean about the atmosphere in the team. It has changed. Obviously, I'm not hearing all the comms that are going on and all the jokes and stuff that are happening, but seeing you guys on camera, meeting you guys at these events as well, it does, even from the little window we get to see on stream of you guys, it does seem like there's a little bit more fire in the belly and also fun that's going with it, as well as though this team, who are I've always called Quad Force 1 our loud and proud American friends, because when you joined back in 2018, I know that's before your time, but Chief and Heads Up and other guys who were there as well, Quad Force 1 turned up and let everyone know that Quad Force 1 had arrived. And that was great because it brought so much personality to it, which was lovely. But we kind of associate that a little bit with American teams. We haven't seen it so much until now.
yeah, I mean, it's something I always like. Yeah, when I joined the team in 2020, that was very much how Alex Chief was like acting. So like, I try and bring the atmosphere he brought back in 2020 into this team today, because I just think it's such a great way to like run a team atmosphere. Personally, like when you're having fun, you're gonna fly your best, and that is so true. There's so many times I go into races thinking, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy this. Like, who cares what the outcome is? I'm here to enjoy this. I'm here to have fun, and that's when I fly my best. I think that's when everyone does. So I think relieving that pressure, just cracking jokes with everyone, having a good time, like that's when you're gonna perform your very best.
And we've seen that in you. We've seen that sort of slight bit of bravado come out, but in a good way. The sit-down line is fun. The masterclass from Propsicle as well, as we've got here. It's word. Look where you guys are. So do we get a masterclass today?
That's gonna be the goal. I'm jet lagged out of my mind, but I'm gonna give it everything I have. Like, I know everyone was joking yesterday. I literally just fell asleep on the stage. I leaned back my chair before we...
I commentated on you. You don't know this.
Yeah, I still haven't seen this video. I'm a little scared too.
It was the Drone Chair League, DCL, and you were very good.
Yeah, no, I was passed out, but I just woke up, had some Red Bull, and got back into it. So I don't know. I'm here to perform whether I'm tired or not. So yeah, that's the goal. I flew pretty good yesterday. Here to fly even better today. So
Different track today, but so far on day one, you managed to take down anybody you faced at all. Raiden, which was the Split 1 final. I still can't get over this. The Split 1 final was Raiden and Quad Force 1 in that amazing matchup. 7 races. Came down to the last one to split you two teams. Of course, Raiden took it. That was our first elimination match here. 5th and 6th place is Raiden and Quad Force 1. You've beaten them. You've knocked out STT. You've knocked out China Dragons. We were saying yesterday, if you win this thing, you will then have to have knocked out either X-Blades or Cyclone, and then the other one, in whichever order they come. What a way to win. Take out every team one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, I love underdog stories, and I think everyone does. Just the idea of the dream run is such a cool thing. So, I mean, if I was able to do that with this team, like, that would be a dream come true. And that's the goal today. Like, I think after yesterday, our confidence is sky high. I was even just texting Mason last night. about how he felt after the race. Because, obviously me and QT are on site so we can talk, but we also have people at home, so that's always an interesting dynamic. But I was texting him last night, and I mean, we're both just feeling so ready. Like, I was like, let's just win this thing.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Kind of vibe. So that's gonna be the goal today. It's just like, I don't know. It's been crazy. I couldn't have imagined yesterday going as well as it did. Like, it really did go better than any of us could have imagined. So just looking to bring that in today.
I was wondering whether, I think I said to you last night, if the next matchup was coming at midnight when we finished, you'd have been racing that and going for it. And if we'd gone through in one straight run, that might have sort of favoured you. But we had to stop. Now we come back for day 2. Is that run going to continue, or is like the break, the overnight stop, is that going to make things a bit more difficult?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder to get into it, since we do have that downtime. But I think everyone's in a really good place right now to bring that momentum. I think as long as we can get into practice and everyone can feel good on the track and be like, yes, this is our track, we're flying good, we're setting down these good times, we're consistent, then we're going to be on it today.
I remember you ending yesterday by saying, and I heard it across the stage, even with my headset on, I heard you saying, QT, we are back. It could be today that Quad Force 1 finally get actually their first ever DCL title. Never got the World Championship. Now we have Split 1 and Split 2. It could be yours today. Good luck, guys. What a story it will be, and what racing we will enjoy if you can lift it. So good luck.